Hello everybody, my name is Steve with TGN Onlaughts, and I will bringing you how to tank with Bard. This will be a two-parter. I'll try to go through it real quick, just give you an example of certain stuff and certain things. Now, I am going to be talking about this part, about spells, the spells that I have, and what they do, future spells, my talent tree, what to get in the future, of course, like future spells again, rubies and gear, and what to put your stats on, of course. Second part, how I went along to doing the dungeon of a group of 4, including myself as the tank, a healer, and 2 long-range DPS. And that's gonna be how I'm talking about the spells in there and how I went along keeping aggro and doing all the tanky stuff. So let's get to it. The first spell you get as a bard is dissonance or dissonance, or however you want to say it, pronounce it. And yeah, dissonance is basically a long range. It has a range attack of 20 yards. It is you have to hit the spell, you know, to do any sort of damage. But again, it's pretty. It does do a substantial amount of damage. Pulls a lot of threat and all that good stuff. Now, the one thing that I do not like about it is because of this. It's not a target ability. For example, I want to hit that giant termite. Technically, he is in my 20-yard radius for me to hit him, but it is going to hit this giant termite right here. Even though, you know, because it's the closest target within my line of sight. And if I want to hit it again, it's going to hit the crow. Okay, now I can attack him, right? Oh, don't have a target. I guess I wasn't close enough. But either way, it still wouldn't have attacked him whatsoever. I thought I was close enough because I've hit targets that were pretty far away, and I don't know why I didn't see. That's weird. Anyways, but the thing I do like about it is that it silences your target for 1 second. It will probably increase with more points you add into it. Like once you max it out, probably increase to maybe 2 seconds or 1.5 second or 1 second every time you max it out. Maxing it probably about 3 seconds of silence. I don't know if the silence stacks, so I suggest you do it once, wait 3 seconds, then do it again, especially if you're trying to silence a target that is pretty ways away. But the radius is only 20 yards, so it probably won't really matter too much, since they're not really gonna be running that far away to get to you. Now, second ability is Elegy. Elegy is basically Elegy or Elegy, however you want to say it. I have no idea. It is basically you know, it says it's ability that passively inflicts damage. So it's a passive ability. Why, you know, passive spells, passive abilities, whatever. To me, you don't have to mess with them whatsoever. But this one, you gotta at least activate it once. Hit one button to activate it. The way you can tell that it's activated is that it glows at the bottom of your action bar. Wherever you place that spell, it will glow. And basically, if your attackers attack you, they take damage, which is amazing. As a bard tank, you will hit multiple targets. All your hostile targets, you will hit them, which is great. And that's really it. You know, I consider that to be the AoE spell of the bards so far, as I am leveling the bard, my main bard. Now, people can argue with me all day saying that solo is an AoE spell, but in my book, AoE spells hit more than one target at a time, and solo does not do that. It does not hit more than one target at a time. Sure, it hits 4 random targets, but not at the same time. They hit, yeah, they hit random targets one at a time, so it's not an AoE spell. You have to hit more than one target at the same time. So elegy is an AoE spell in my book because of two targets can hit you at the same time and they take damage. Multiple targets can hit you at the same time and take damage. Even if they're not hitting you at the same time, they're freaking taking damage. Even if you dodge or they miss, they are still taking damage, which is amazing. Now, the defensive ability is Acoustic Barrier. Acoustic Barrier surrounds you with a protective kind of symbols while you play your guitar, and it has a cast time of about 5 seconds. Now, during that cast time, you cannot do anything. That's when your elegy gets active, but I'll get into that more later on within the second part of this video clip. I just want to get into that kind of, just talk about the spells a bit. This will protect you. It has a 50% chance, since I maxed it out, 50% chance to absorb a certain amount of damage. Now, it also puts out damage, but don't consider this as your main damaging ability, which it is not. The reason I maxed it out is for the absorbency and all that good stuff, to protect myself. Now, it does do damage for once per second per target, but the thing is you have to get hit within your acoustic barrier. So if you have it up like now and you take damage while the acoustic barrier is up, they get hit, and the chances of that is pretty slim. They don't get hit often. It'll probably, you know, and I've also noticed that when you're doing your acoustic barrier, it seems like the mobs miss more and you dodge a lot more. You know, so it increases your defensive a ton, it seems like. So also, let's talk about gear now. Gear, I went with kind of strength. When I first played Bard, I'm like, why would strength benefit me? But as I read along, it says it increases the effectiveness of your offensive spells, which is every single one, meaning I probably put out more damage and I crit a lot more, and I do basically more damage, which is amazing. That's why I went with strength as a Bard, basically so I can try to put out as much damage as my teammates are per that target that they're attacking, so I do not lose aggro or threat. And Bards basically have a great ability to pull threat and gain threat. So that is kind of gear you want to go for. Haven't really seen any kind of gear with strength and stamina, because it'll be beneficial as a Bard tank to get more stamina. I don't know if stamina includes increasing your health, but I hope it is, because most MMO stamina means increasing your health. And yeah, unless stamina means you don't get tired as much. I have no freaking idea, but stamina hopefully does mean that it increases your health. And if you get any stamina gear with strength, amazing. But I mainly focus on strength, as you can see. Well, you can't really see, but that's what I went for. Now, for my talent tree, before I did the dungeon run, I waited till I was level 12, just so I can be able to get protected tune. Protected tune in my talent tree, when I get below 50% health, basically, it activates, and it increases a 17% chance of all physical attacks made against me to miss. It increases my, basically increases my chance of enemies missing me by 17%. And it increases the more you max it out. And I am freaking tired. Now, that's why I went with that, because in the dungeon you'll see that it pops quite a few times. Mainly because we get overwhelmed with some of the mobs. But, I managed to tank it out pretty good. Now, I maxed out Acoustic Barrier, of course, main defensive ability, and main damage source while you're in Acoustic Barrier, which is Elegy. Now, If I were to get one more spell, it would probably be solo, because I can pop that before I go into acoustic barrier, and then have it do damage while elegy is active and doing damage as well. So holding more threat, putting out massive damage, and doing all sorts of good stuff. Future spells, I'll probably max out Dissonance, max out Solo, max out Protective Tune, get Nocturne because I believe it heals you, and all kind of physical attacks or range attacks that do any sort of damage to pour more threat. And also probably Lullaby, Love Song. Love Song, so the enemy charges you, but it does not work. It does not work against bosses. Boss fights does not make your target charge you, but I believe it does still piss him off, so he will probably still end up attacking you anyways. But I've tried it before to try to pull people off of because they're about to die, so I'm like, I'm gonna do this so he charges me and it gets away, but it doesn't work that way, I guess. But I wish it did. It would be nice. So yeah, those are it. Now for rubies, I only had 3 rubies, so I went with 1 into expertise. But if I had an extra 1 besides the 2 that I put into silver lining, I would go, I'll put those 2 into frivolity and 1 into bully to increase my strength. Now the silver lining rubies that I put on here, I got them mainly because my group was low, so low levels, and I figured that I'm gonna need as much help with increasing my healing that I receive. So I decided to go with that. So it increases my healing received by 20% for 10 seconds when it activates. So I got 2 of those. It probably did help out a substantial amount, especially with all my defensive abilities maxed out. And yeah, so that was basically it for this part. I believe I covered the spells, I covered the rubies, maybe future stuff to spec into, and what I maxed out at level 12. So thank you for watching. Please like, favorite, subscribe, go to my channel. Please leave constructive criticisms to improve my work. Please, if you have any questions about bards and any other kind of stuff that I know about, my main bard is level 21. So leave comments, nice comments. Don't be like, you suck, because it'll hurt my feelings, and I'm gonna cry all day and every day. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the second part. I'll be talking about dungeon and how I went along doing the dungeon and how I prevailed at owning it up as a bard tank. So thank you for watching, and this has been Steve with TG on All Odds. Until next time, bye.